Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and this is the Wee Bishop. This is another one that I've been waiting on for a very, very long time. I saw the first ones of these months and months ago, and I just knew you guys were gonna like them. Why? Because they're doing some things a little different now. They've taken a somewhat standard blade shape and handle design that just about every knife company does, and they've turned it into something special. Just like they did with the Deacon. They took basic handle shapes and gave it a really nice blade, and then they made it special with the carbon fiber and the bolster lock, and you guys saw it. And that's kind of what it's not kind of, it's exactly what they've done with the Deacon. In fact, we get a blade hole here, one of the teardrop egg-shaped ones that we uses, and we get a rather standard blade. Now, this is a heavy-duty knife. This is not your general light-duty like the Deacon. This, in my mind, I don't know how we went about this, but I saw the Deacon and the Bishop about the same time, and in my mind these two knives are complementary to each other, and we'll talk about that as we go along. First off, we have this beautiful stonewash. I just love how these companies do this. We's not the only one, but this beautiful stonewash up here on the bolsters. And then we got some really nice, feels like void-free carbon fiber. Appears that we have a carbon fiber back spacer. That's the material it looks like anyhow. I have been fooled by that before, but it sure does look like it. And we've got carbon fiber over here, standard milled titanium pocket clip. And this one has a trick. It'll go on either side of the knife. That's something that the Bishop didn't quite pull off. But this knife, I do believe, will pull it off. It will. And bolster lock, just beautiful on the outside. So let's get that blade out and do a little size comparison. We'll get our standards out here. We have a Rat Model 1 and our Buck 110. A little shorter than both of those. Well, not really shorter than that one, but a little smaller overall than both of those. The Bishop weighs in at 3.88 ounces. It's kind of a heavyweight, not really in ounces, but in application. This is more your hard use compared to your Deacon's gentleman's carry. We'll get a couple more out here. There's a Leon Racer. It's one of my favorites. And we have a Roxy 4 from Wee Knife Company and Todd Knife and Tool. We got anything else up here we should put it up against? Well, I do have one hard use guy back here that we can use. I don't see any other major hard use knives, but there is a Hinderer Storm, and this used to be one of my favorite Hinderers. Then Hinderer got a tri-way pivot system, and now it's kind of fallen down in favor. Still a great knife. It's just that tri-way pivot system's pretty freaking awesome in the new XM18s. So let's get a look at this blade now. And what we have, this one is a really fine stonewash. It's not my favorite finish on a Wee knife, but it does match up well with the rest of the finish of the knife. I don't know, getting a good look at it in the light, it does have some glitter to it. Pretty nice. We're swedged up here, nice looking swedge, the way they've ended the swedge and the grind. Somebody took some time and thought about that. Same thing on both sides. They got real close on the edge termination, but not quite. And let's see if my suspicions are real. I'm going to say it's 20 thousandths or above behind the edge. That's millimeters. We can't do that. And I just barely win 22 thousandths. I was kind of thinking that because this one just has more of a hard use look to it. The thicker blade, the more curve at the tip of the blade. And let's see if they've even done us one more and let it get a little thicker right up here. If they have, that's actually, and they have. They've let it get just a little thicker up at the tip. Everybody's going, well, what's that all about? Well, that's just giving you a stronger tip on this style of blade, which whenever you go to sharpen it, it'll be fine. And we should look at that too, I suppose. Still got some more of these old medical pads, and if I can not get it in the sharpening choil. And that's one of those things, people ask us why the Todd Knife and Tool knives don't have sharpening choils. That right there is the reason, so you don't get them stuck in things. It annoys the crap out of me. Either do the sharpening choil completely right, or learn from Spyderco and don't do it at all. WE does theirs mostly right most of the time. Now, mechanical, it's standard WE. We have titanium hardware, ceramic ball bearings, ceramic detent, over travel stop, and they even have, I haven't looked inside, but I'm sure that they have a mechanical over travel stop right up here in the lock bar insert, and you have the carbon fiber acting as an over travel stop as well. Now, action wise, there have been some questions about this, and I'm going to show you what the differences are. We will bring a Deacon out here and kind of talk about it. We have a big heavy blade in here. This is 4mm blade stock. That's 0.16. It is Bowler M390, which is kind of cool. And it's a big heavy blade, and look where they have put the flipper tab. Now, we can get away with this because their knives flip so well that flipper tab placement, while it's still important, if everything else works extremely well, you can get away with a little bit. And they do here because it still flips really well. However, those of you that bought a Deacon, the Deacon's flipper tab hits right dead center, and it's a dinky little light blade. And most of the detents I've experienced on the Deacon are pretty dang snappy. So, for those of you that bought a Deacon and you're thinking about getting the Bishop because you want the whole church family there, be aware that the Bishop is not going to be as snappy whenever you flip it open. Now, it's not bad. It's not some awful thing, but there's your light switch, and there's your push button. It just feels a little slower. It's all because of where they placed the flipper tab and the heavier blade. And not something you can move around real easy in this knife. They could maybe have, they could have given the knife blade a little more angled down, closed, and still been alright, still been safe, and that would have brought your flipper tab back a little bit, made it a little quicker, but they didn't because it works. It's just not quite as snappy as some of the others. Anyhow, I wanted to get that out of the way because I've had that question a few times already from people. And guys, I really don't know what to say. We got a big lanyard hole, tip up left or right carry, all WE stuff. Can you use the hole to open it? It's not safe. On most of the WE knives, if you work at it, you can figure it out and you can get the hole to work. But it's not, designed by the WE knife team. Most of the time that hole is not designed like a Spidey hole, even though you may be able to get it to work. But sure looks cool, don't it? Anyhow, guys, WE Bishop. It's that hard use version of a wee knife in a rather attractive package. It's not got my favorite blade shape in it, but if I had some extras of this one around, it would get some carry, because ergonomically it's sound. We didn't really talk about that, but you know, it's got your fairly standard handle design, and we'll get that one measurement everybody thinks they have to have. Oh, there we go. 3.6 to there, 3.9 to the end. So plenty of handle room, a lot more than you got on the Deacon. Anyhow, guys, this has been the Wee Knife Company Bishop. Pretty cool offering from Wee Knives, and for some of you, it's gonna be the perfect knife, I'm sure. I don't have the price, but I'm guessing $250 plus. And you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that little bell so you can make it to Late Night with Zell and Stazza. We'd love to have you there. That's a show that Stazza and I do live, and it's not some deal where we're just regurgitating information and talking about very specific topics. A lot of what happens on Late Knife with Zell and Stazza is directed by the comments. Why? Because we take that as our opportunity to connect directly with you and let you guys kind of a little bit move the conversation around, because we thoroughly enjoy hanging out with you guys, and we hope that you will enjoy hanging out with us on Late Knife with Zell and Stazza. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.